freaks of the world, and welcome to the Will Dogs Games and Wrestling. Today we are going to take a bit of a stray off of the path of games and wrestling, and we're going to talk about some of my favorite music. I am a big fan of rap music. A lot of people who know me know that, but I want to share some of my favorite songs with you. Now, first of all, let me preface this by saying these are my 10 favorite songs in rap music. If you've got a different opinion, that's great. Have your opinion. I'd love to hear about it in the comments. If there's anything I missed, please let me know. Now, the other thing is, I'm only doing one song per artist. So, I'm a big fan, like, say, of Eminem. I'm not going to put a list of Eminem songs up here. One song per artist. Also, I wanted to try to give you guys some artists that aren't as well known. Now, I do have people on the list who are well known, but I do have a couple in there that might turn you to some new music. Now, what I have done is, since I'm not going to play any of these songs on the video due to copyright reasons, I have made a playlist with all 10 of these songs on Spotify. The playlist is the Will Dogs Top 10 Rap Songs. Go ahead and search it on Spotify. It's available right now. And subscribe to it and go ahead and give it a listen, especially for the songs you don't know. Now, we'll go right into number 10 right here. And first off, go ahead and say it. I'm putting a Lil Wayne song on here. And go ahead. If you don't like me for it, go ahead. Go away. Go away. You gone yet? You're gone. Alright, cool. We can move on. Lil Wayne, 6 Foot, 7 Foot is on here. I like this song. I'm a big fan of lyrics in rap music. That's going to be a big theme throughout this video. And I'm also a big fan of metaphor. One of the reasons I like Eminem is because of his use of metaphor. Now, Lil Wayne is an artist who can be either really, really bad, or how did you come up with that genius? And I feel like the song 6 Foot, 7 Foot, while nothing but a brag rap, has some genius metaphor to it. And my favorite line in it, which kind of shows where he goes with this metaphor, is stop playing bitch, I got this game on deadbolt. Mine so sharp, I fuck around and cut my head off. Now, that plays upon the whole, got this game on lock. Now, he doesn't just have it on lock, it's on deadbolt. Alright? And then, mine's so sharp, you hear, that guy's sharp, but his is so sharp, cut his head right off. It's a cool little metaphor. And the song is nothing but metaphor after metaphor after metaphor. So, I definitely recommend it. Give it a listen. I don't recommend Lil Wayne as an artist, but this song in particular is really good. Now, number 9. Number 9 is from an artist that I have yet to find anybody who has actually listened to. This is a rap group called Fourth Quarter. They were a group of soldiers who were deployed to Iraq during the Iraq War. Back, I believe this album was recorded about 04, 05 maybe. They recorded it in Iraq while on deployment. They got the equipment in to go ahead and record their own rap album. And they released it. It was called Live from Iraq. And the eponymous song on the album, Live from Iraq, it really shows what life on deployment for these soldiers was like. The whole album is a story of this deployment, but this one just really kicks it off. And one of my favorite lines from this is, for some this is the answer to a whole lot of issues. Sure, it's politics back home, but here it's bullets through our tissue. That shows really what soldiers were thinking back then. There were a lot of people back home who didn't really understand what war was, because, frankly, a lot of our congressmen don't serve. And I'm not going to get into the politics of that, but with that, they're like, we're dealing with real stuff here. And the whole song really just shows you what it's like. They talk about, this ain't no video game, this isn't like the NFL where you can challenge the play, it's over. If something happens, it's done. So it's a really good song. Give it a listen, especially if you've never heard of them. Give that song a listen. It's really, really good. So we'll move on to number 8. And this is another one. You're going to want to crucify me here. And you're going to be like, Will Dog, you just put Linkin Park on a top 10 rap songs list? I'm out of here. Again, go join your Lil Wayne friends. Go. Or you're gone now. Okay, good. All right. This one is from their Reanimation album. Now, many of you will probably know Mike Shinoda, a member of the band Linkin Park, is actually a really good rap artist. He had a rap group called Fort Minor that released an album back in 2006 called The Rising Tide. Very good album. They almost made the list, but they did not this time. So I'm including Forgotten, which is a remix of their song Forgotten from Hybrid Theory. And it's all their remixes on this album, Reanimation, are rap remixes of their rock songs. So they actually had a rap album before their mashup with Jay-Z. Mike Shinoda does most of the rapping, but they also work with the Executioners to do some more rapping. And the line in particular that I'm going to mention here is actually rapped by Cali Tuna. And the song is really about seeing the evils in one's own neighborhood and city and not being able to do anything about it. And the line here is, bullets that scar souls with dark holds get more than your car stole. Some hearts be blacker than charcoal. It really shows how this person is feeling about the world around him. And the imagery in the song, and frankly, the song is just nostalgic for me because I listened to this album a lot about 10 years ago. And I still listen to it to this day. Alright, we'll move on to number 7. Again, this isn't a traditionally thought of as a rap group. It's a bunch of scene kids from LA. But Hollywood Undead, I know, I'm wearing the shirt right now. Had to wear something music related. But their song Undead. Now, Undead is one of those songs I really feel like music should elicit an emotion in somebody. Nothing elicits an emotion in me like music. And Undead is one of the few songs, I'm a very docile person, it's one of the few songs that makes me want to just fight somebody. It's great for, in the gym, when you're working out. I use it when I'm punching the heavy bag. So, Hollywood Undead's Undead, great song. The line from it that I really think really emphasizes just how much it would make you want to fight is, fuck those haters I see, 'cause I hate that you breathe. I see you duck, you little punk, you little fucking disease. It's just somebody just so filled with hate that he just wants to punch them in the face. And I just love this song. I can't explain it. Lyrically, it's not very profound, but it's just that emotion that I get from it that I really like and can really push me in like something like a workout or like a run. It's got a good beat to it. Now, number 6 is from an artist that some people will know, some people won't. Immortal Technique. He is from New York. He's mostly a political rapper. He talks about politics, and I'm not big on eliciting my politics here. I don't agree with everything he says, but he's got some good stuff going, and his lyrics are just amazing. When I want to point somebody to an artist, when they tell me that rap is nothing but noise, and rap is nothing but the Little Johns of the world, I point them towards Immortal Technique. Specifically this song and another song. So this song is Caught in a Hustle. The other song I like is You Never Know, but I'm not talking about that one today. But Caught in a Hustle is really, again, it's kind of like that Forgotten song I talked about from Linkin Park. This one's kind of like Immortal Technique looking at the evils in his world. How hard it is in the ghetto, how hard it is in the inner city to actually make it because people buy into the vision of themselves that other people put on them, saying, you're from this place, you will never make it. And he's saying, that's wrong. And this is really encompassed in the line, ignorance is venomous, and it murders the soul, spreading like a virus running rampant but out of control. He's saying, you need to read. You need to learn this stuff. You need to get yourself out of here. And the whole song just talks about that. It talks about how the corrupt prison system and how it's put there to keep you in there. And it's just a great song. It's kind of hard to find, but I got it on the list. I found it on a mixtape. It's also on the iTunes version of Revolutionary Volume 1. So check that one out. Now, next is a mainstream artist. Everybody's going to know this one, Tupac. I got to have Tupac on here, but I'm not going to put one of his usuals like California Love or any of that. My favorite from Tupac, the one I always go to, is Life Goes On. This one just really shows how Tupac felt about what was going on around him, his friends dying, going to jail, his friends going to jail, and what he saw in his future. And I really like the line, "Bury me smiling with G's in my pocket, have a party at my funeral, let every rapper rock it." It really showed how Pac saw death. Said, you know what, don't mourn me. Have fun at my funeral. Have some, have all those rappers there. Just make sure I got some money in my pocket for the afterlife. It was really good. And the whole song itself is just lamenting the situation his world is in. So it's a really good song. Next up is the other half. We got Pac. We got to have Biggie. All right. And I love Notorious B.I.G. And the song I'm going to feature here is Juicy. I love Juicy. Mostly because it is probably the best rags to riches story I've ever heard in rap music. So, again, this is him talking about where he was when he was growing up and how he got out of there. And basically saying, you know what, I made it on my own. So, first of all, I want to say, I saw a really good juxtaposition with this song. The Rap Critic, that guy with the glasses.com, he did a video comparing this to Drake's Started From the Bottom, where he showed how to do it right with Juicy and how to do it wrong with Started From the Bottom. And if you haven't seen that video, go ahead and check it out. I believe it's on YouTube. It's also on that guy with the glasses.com. Just check out that video. He did a really good job with that one. So, but this one I really like just because it really shows that rags to riches story. And he really shows the rags, like what he came from with the line, "We used to fuss when the landlord dissed us. No heat. Wonder why Christmas missed us." Showing that those things that everybody else takes for granted, having a home, having heat on, Christmas time. He didn't have all that. He was down and out growing up. And he really takes that and shows, here's how I am now. And I use my rhymes to get there. So, next we'll move on to Bliss and Esso. Bliss and Esso is an Australian rap group. It's three guys, two rappers and a DJ. And one of the rappers is Australian. The other one is actually, he moved to Australia from the States, I believe when he was in high school. So That Feeling is a song. That Feeling. This is on Day of the Dog. Also on the list that I put together. And the lyric that really shows what they're trying to say is, "See, we found a baron, just an excuse to cuss lots. But you damn right, the only two dudes rapping at the bus stops." So, when they were in high school, rap wasn't big in Australia. It hadn't really hit here. It was starting to come up in the States. So, he was showing how these two guys who went to high school together really used rap to bond, and now they're this rap group who's touring, the country. And That Feeling is really about what rap music is. It's that thing that just, they say it's that sick man's medicine, and it just really encompasses what rap is to a lot of people. Alright, so check that one out, definitely. Next one, you may know Machine Gun Kelly. You may not know this song. Machine Gun Kelly I've been listening to since he was doing mixtapes. He's really good. He's probably one of the better rappers out there that just doesn't get airtime because most of his airtime goes to his crappy songs. But my favorite song from him is End of the Road. End of the Road is kind of like Juicy talking about coming up from what he was. But it's not rags to riches. He doesn't really say he was in rags. He talks about being like that weird kid, you know, and believe it or not, I was that weird kid, you know, so I kind of really, you know, sympathize with this, and I know what he went through, so that makes this song very, very personal to me. And one of my favorite lines from this is, make it toast to the underdogs, toast to the team, toast to the fact we this close to the dream. Now, what he's talking about there is, you know, I came up, I did what they said I couldn't do, I'm almost there. Let's toast it. We are the underdogs. They said we couldn't, but we're almost there. I love this song. Check it out. Really good song. Now, my number one favorite rap song, and this could be said of all time. This is Eminem. I kind of foreshadowed this before. Eminem's Legacy on Marshall Mathers LP2. Now, I didn't like Marshall Mathers LP2 as a whole. I thought it was pretty weak compared to Recovery. Sorry. Compared to Recovery. But I loved Legacy. Now, my WWE fans out there who watch this show will recognize the song as a song that was used in the promos for John Cena's match against Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania 30. So, I'm not a big fan of Cena, but that's a story for another day. But this song, I'm a very big fan of, because this is kind of like that Machine Gun Kelly song, talking about that being that weird kid, but it also talks about coming up from basically nothing. Talking about how he used to get bullied at school, and he started using this rap music to fight back, really, you know, and put these words together in ways that other people can't. And he talks at the beginning of each stanza. He says, "I used to be the type of kid that would always think the sky is falling." He starts it like that. And in the first one, he's like, "Why am I so differently wired in my noggin?" You know. But in the last one, that's my favorite line, and I'll start from the beginning. It's, "I used to be the type of kid that would always think the sky is falling. Now I think the fact that I'm differently wired's awesome." Now, this is really cool for me because I'm a bit of a poet myself. I do wordplay, and I've been writing since I was in high school, and I can compare to this because I started using that stuff to kind of get my feelings out and start making sure I had control of what was going on in my life. So this song is really good. Give it a listen. Go ahead and get on Spotify if you are on Spotify. Subscribe to my list. It's top 10, the Will Dog's top 10 rap songs. Now again, if I didn't get your favorite song in there, that's cool. Put it in the comments. Tell me something good. I'd like to listen to some new stuff. And also, it was one song per artist, so I couldn't get all my favorites in there. These are my favorites with my top 10, artists, if you will. But they're kind of like mixed together there. So, let me know what you think. Comment down below. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitter at The Will Dog. Follow us, like our Facebook page, The Will Dogs Games and Wrestling YouTube page. Check that out on Facebook. Also, follow me on Twitch, The Will Dog 1988. Check it out. And I'll just end it here by letting you know, remember, whatever your geek is, be sure to let your geek out.